Jay's going to the word upon the release. That's the 2022 prediction there. But
I don't think that's a prediction. I think that's just a fact. Yeah.
And then Roxy's gonna be forever tortured by Yoonho from 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's gonna be happening.
Hello and welcome to the Krazecast, a podcast run by the fans for the fans that brings you close to the action. My name is Roxy, and today I'm joined by my fellow host, Jay.
Hello. To keep up with all our content, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at KrazMag, and YouTube The Kraze.
If you enjoy our content, please consider helping to support our organization through Ko-Fi. Our team is 100% volunteer-based, so any donation helps us out a great deal. Head over to ko-fi.com/the Kraze, where you can donate however much you please, and we thank you so much ahead of time for your support.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch our next episode, and hit that bell for notifications for when we upload new videos. And speaking of which, can we just say thank you for 100 subscribers on our channel? Like, yay, thank you. We appreciate it, and we are so glad. So if you're watching this on YouTube, again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and yeah. So we haven't recorded since last year.
We haven't recorded since before Christmas.
Right? That was the last time that we recorded. So we're here today back with technically our first episode of the year. And I think it's just fitting. We always do this every year, that we're just going to talk about our predictions in K-pop for 2022. And I feel like, I don't know if I have a lot this year. Do you?
No, not really. I'll be honest. Life has been a bit hectic recently. So
right. I feel like it's that, what's that TikTok meme where Reels, it's like, I'm not saying life's beating my hand on my ass, but that bitch got hands.
True.
I'm just like, I think all of us have just been so like the holidays, and then coming back from the holidays, and then dealing with everything that is going on with the world. I know I had a COVID scare over the holidays, and that wasn't fun. And just everybody getting sick in general. And you're just like, I need to stay healthy. There's things that I got to do in the next coming of days and weeks that it's just like, it's crazy. So 2022, end of 2021, start of 2022 right now ain't the prettiest, I shall say. But
I'm gonna be convinced if I don't get COVID at the 80s concert, which is next week, I'm gonna think it's impossible for me to get it, because like I've already been to a convention. There were 10,000 people at this convention, and my roommate got sick, but he did not get COVID. He just got the flu. So I was like,
it's those convention sicknesses that are happening, which I think it just happens when you go to conventions in general. I wanted to go to this festival that was this weekend that had like anime, K-pop, and for some reason weird random shoes. But like I was just like, too many people, and it's in one of the areas where there's a lot of high cases. I think I'm gonna pass. I think I'm just gonna pass this time.
I think like other sicknesses are taking over also, just because like people have been isolated for so long that once you get into a group, like you're bound to get sick, whether it's COVID or not. So
yeah, I just don't want to get sick. That's the only thing. It's just like, it's one thing to get COVID, but like just feeling sick in general, I don't want to. And Eric Nom's next week for me also when you're at ATs. So it's just like, okay, lots of things happening, a lot of tours happening. So I guess we could say start of 2022, definitely a lot of tours for sure coming back into this. So we are probably awaiting the big ones. Is we have ATs, Ghost 9 is here right now.
One Us is coming. I'm really mad about the One Us tour because they are going to like Kansas and Michigan, but they're not coming to DC.
Oh,
I was like,
that like, and then New York's the other East Coast?
Yeah, I think so. It's probably like Atlanta, New York. But like, I feel like everyone's been skipping DC, and my personal thought on it is because the mayor of DC is like super strict about COVID stuff, so it is probably completely shut down there. But I don't know why you wouldn't just come to Maryland or Virginia, where it's a little bit more lenient.
Virginia in general, like there's that happening. Blitzers is about to happen twice, is gonna happen in a couple of weeks.
Monster X too, as far as I know.
I did see, I don't know, there's a few mutuals who I follow on the timeline though, like one of the East Coast states at least is considered postponed on the website, and we're like, so don't know exactly how that's gonna work out. We're awaiting Stray Kids, NCT 127 at least, because I don't think we're gonna get the full roster of NCT coming. I don't think so.
That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. There's just too many. I
feel so sorry for Mark. He has to do all of those outfit changes. He's in so many units. And I would really like to get more girl groups out here though, not gonna lie.
I know, I think Twice is really the only one on the docket right now. And then wonder if KCON's going to happen, because
I know
KCON usually brings them too, but that's about it. Like the smaller girl groups don't do the tours like the smaller boy groups do.
Not anymore. I can't even think of another girl group who would be able to come like that. Ooh, that's hard.
Well, I mean, like Blackpink could always do it. They're probably not going to.
They could if they release stuff.
I wonder if SM is going to let aespa come over.
I mean, they already did for the Thanksgiving parade, so I wouldn't be surprised if they at least have a fan meeting. Maybe not a concert, just because they don't have that much stuff out yet. But for sure, a fan meeting. I would hope that they would, because I'm like, I don't know any bigger girl group. Like there are big girl groups, but I just don't know how popular they are here in the States, because they don't push the girls here.
I know Red Velvet, I mean, they came in 2018 for one fan meet in Chicago. They could, attempt that, but first of all, SM doesn't really like to send people here anyway. So
I mean, NCT is probably the closest we'll get to a big SM push out here, at least. I don't know who else would tour, but definitely year of tours, year of fan meetings. With it picking up, we're probably going to see a lot more come in the summer, because I mean, more people are free. I wouldn't be surprised if the return of KCON will come, but I feel like it's going to be such a smaller scale, because even big conventions are scaling down big comic conventions are scaling down to a smaller audience. It's still big, but not as their normal capacity. So I feel like that would be the same thing for KCON at least.
I don't know, like if certain places still have saying like you can't have more than 50,000 people or something like that. I don't know if KCON was ever that big. But the convention I was at was 10,000, and like the only places that really got infected were people that did the room parties. So strangers would gather in a room and then they all infected each other. So that kind of thing. But I mean, most places still have like the mask mandate when you go out, or they will push that, I assume, for convention areas, just because of the size of people. But
it's strict in California right now. We are under a mask mandate until February, and that's even then seeing how that's gonna play out. I think in LA they have released new things where their mass events, the big events, is reduced to 500 people. So I don't know how that's gonna be working out and how events are gonna play out there, because at this point there's so many tours coming to LA that it's just like some of these tickets have been sold for months already.
That really surprises me, because I know California is going to be one of the most strict states in the United States.
Yeah.
So like the fact that they're still going there, but I assume they wouldn't come to DC for the same reason. So I don't know, maybe they just think there's enough people to push it over and like get it done. But it's, I guess, I don't know. The United States is like such a big place, and there's so many different like guidelines and expectations. So who knows? It'll be weird. Like things are going to come back, but it's going to be weird.
You know what though? Like, I think with this whole thing, I think it just promotes, hey, like, just be like, have better hygiene. You know, like before these events, especially if you're going to be meeting them, just maybe have better hygiene when you meet them, you know, and it just teaches people to, I mean, I'm not going to say like people don't know their space, because if you like Eric, oh shoot, the Kai's coming back too. They're doing Coachella too, and they're returning, which is, that doesn't happen often, but like knowing when to give people space, and the concept of space is now like a little bit more understood in these smaller venues. You can't avoid it that you're going to be more close to each other, but I think it promotes like, hey, I mean, I'm in my personal bubble, you know, so I appreciate that at least, and I hope that going forward they consider that just a little bit more better, but it is what it is.
I'm just like, I'm really glad I didn't buy high touch tickets for ATs, because for the tour, they're not letting you do the high touch, obviously, because they don't want to add extra germs to the members. So you just like walk up and wave. I was like, oh man, I would have been so mad if I paid money for that in 2019 and didn't get to do it the way I wanted to.
But I think who was it? I think, what was the group? Who was the group? Off the top of my head, who was the group that got canceled mid-tour?
Oh, very.
Somebody one. There we go. Very, very. I think they had one of my friends went to that tour when they did their high touch. They were still wearing gloves and they still caught it, you know? And so it's just like, yeah, it's for everybody's safety. I just hope it's in a place where when that does return, like people get to have the full experience of what it is to have a high touch again. So I want that to come back, but only when it's safe enough to do so and no one else gets sick.
And obviously I don't want AT's tour to be canceled halfway through. So I'm like, I'm good with this. Just like I would, if I was a person that bought that ticket before the pandemic hit, I would be upset that I paid extra money.
Yeah, exactly. And then also feels bad for all of those fans who got the catwalk taken away and they had really good seats. And then now it's just everybody's seated and you're like, now there's even more people in front of me. And I'm like, I can't see. How can I see the stage? You know? So I feel so bad, but I hope also like that comes back and that at least these people who are there with the extended stage and has that really good seat get to experience seeing their favorites up close, because for some of them, you know, this is the first time that they're going to be seeing a lot of these groups because we've been in a lockdown for 2 years without tours. So I just want to say, if you're going out there and this is your first tour, have fun, be safe, of course, but have fun because this is your first concert. So yeah, I still am missing out on seeing AT's live for the first time in a solo concert and I'm bitter, but I got to do what I got to do.
I thought they opened up more tickets places, or at least they said they did.
They did, but
was it still a bloodbath?
That too. And it's on a weekday for their extra ticket. I'm like, I have work and calling out to do that is also going to be hard to do last minute. So
when they announced the date for the new postponed tour and it was like 2 weeks after I had just asked for time off for the convention, I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make it.
Like, no, it's just like, being an adult and doing this. Oh, of course. This is where we're at. Anyways, what other 2022 predictions do we have for this year? We also did ask our Craze Mag staff members, and so they also chimed in, but do you have anything else, Roxy?
The first one I think is going to be maybe a bit controversial, but I think that BTS is all going to enlist in the military together this year because Jin's already overdue, and I don't know how long that exception was made for him, but I really think they're going to go all out all at once.
I mean, it would make sense considering they're pushing everything. We're going to for sure get one comeback. Maybe pushing it, maybe one more tour left before they all go in December.
I just think based on the way that BTS has always done things differently, that they're going to be the first group that makes that decision. Well, they're not the first group. What am I saying?
No.
ONF just did that. I lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that they're going to be one of the groups that does that instead
Yeah.
of milking all the solo stuff, honestly. Because do we even really get an official solo release in 2021?
Mm-mm. I mean, official if you consider Yoongi.
He was 2020 though.
Oh, it was? Jesus,
Yeah,
my
I know.
time is blending. Oh God. No, we didn't. Like they've been doing like stuff, like they're producing for their stuff, like the webtoon that they're doing. They have it's Jungkook and Yoongi on the track, but Yoongi's not there. It's primarily Jungkook, but a lot of their stuff that they've been releasing aside from Yoongi has been on like SoundCloud platforms as of late. Not saying that the others haven't done it, but yeah, we don't get really a lot of official stuff. We are probably going to get one more Hobie mixtape this year because he's been working in the studio and I'm so excited. But I don't think we're gonna get official solo stuff like that ever, if not when they come back, at least from the military, which kind of sucks, but it makes sense for all of them to just go all together and come back together.
Yeah, I think I mean I would prefer it that way. Just get it all over with. I hate when these groups extend it out for like 5-year period.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like B2B's in the middle of that right now, although Sungjae may have just come back, but there's like this whole
they're all together again.
EXO's doing it. Like it's and I don't like group releases that don't have everybody on them either.
Right.
It always feels like something's lacking.
Yeah. Yeah, B2B, they're all together again. So it's just a matter of when they're gonna release something again. Bring back the OG groups. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense for BTS to just enlist together just because it shortens the time of when they're going to be out. And it also gives them a chance to have a break-ish. You know, they're still working, but, you know, they get to get out of the spotlight for a little bit, even though I know probably people are still going to find their way to follow them, which sucks.
But I mean, like, we barely got anything from them in 2021. So it almost feels like they're gearing you up to just like leave.
Yeah.
And like, maybe we'll get an album. I don't know. But like last year, I think all we really got was Butter and Permission to Dance.
Yeah, because 2020 was the B album.
Yeah. And they also, like, before the major pandemic stuff, they had Map of the Soul 7.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shoot.
And Yugi's mixtape. So it doesn't really feel like it's been almost 2 years since that, but it has. So
Jesus, we're getting old. At least time is whoa. I want to say one of my predictions is I think I say it almost every year, but I think it's gonna be a really good year for girl groups this year in K-pop because Kepler is doing really good, IVE is doing really good. So I'm not saying they're gonna be heavy, super big, because obviously, unfortunately, these girls have to work twice as hard just to get the same recognition as the men in the industry. But I want to say it's gonna be just another good year for girl groups and seeing them being pushed out more and just seeing them thrive because with these new rookie girl groups that are coming out, and I'm like, and you know me, I've gone on record, like it's hard for me to get into them, but I'm like, okay, I have my eyes on a few girl groups, and so I want to see how they're gonna do it. aespa is gonna be a big thing this year, pretty sure, because they're heavy push, so you're gonna see them and what the ladies in K-pop are gonna bring in 2022. Again, probably not as big, but still a huge presence, at least for sure this year. And I'm just like, please give these girls more money, more time.
Do you think we'll get another second gen resurgence like we saw from Brave Girls?
I feel like we are. I feel like maybe it's possible because Queendom is coming back.
Very true.
Year.
They haven't announced who's going to be a part of that, have they?
Who do you think? Who do you want to be on that particular docket of girl groups? I would like to get Red Velvet at least once.
I miss EXID.
Yes.
A lot. We have not, I mean, I don't know if they even technically broke up, but I know that all of them did not re-sign with their company, and God knows what they're all doing. I don't even see like Hani out doing TV shows like she used to. Not in the way that she used to. And I don't know if maybe they're all just taking a break. I mean, I know that this career path is a pain in the ass. So obviously, you know, if you come up on your contract, you might want to take like a year or two to chill out. But
I would like Sistar to come back because I mean, ultimate, like one of the ultimate girl groups of second gen, but
that'd be a good one. I don't know what all of them are doing except Yolen, since she came back.
You know what? She could go on Kingdom. I wouldn't be surprised if they tag her to come on.
She's really been pushing the
laying low.
Yeah, she's really pushing it, at least in terms of K-pop. If you're going into a different genre, you know, she's more able to be like experimental like that. I think it's, you know, good because K-pop tries to keep the women all like innocent and cute most of the time, so she's just like, fuck that.
Like, I'm an adult, I'm grown. Like, no, you're not putting me back in this box. No. I feel like at least Cherry Bullet, I feel like they'd come back, like them. Maybe I'm trying to think of like more underrated girl groups.
FNC has not done well with Cherry Bullet. I mean, I thought they had like a decent debut and they have a pretty strong core like fandom, but like, how long has it been since we've heard from them? At least 2 years now, I think.
I think so. I do think their light stick's really cute though, but like that's beside the point. Yeah, I maybe Cherry Bullet just because I haven't heard of them in quite some time, and it would be a great run for them to do and get promotions back into their cycle, just like how SF9 and the boys. Obviously, we're not gonna get an icon come back for a while. But like just to get these girls back on the map, maybe Twice because Stray Kids did so well, but Twice needs a fucking break.
Twice is like, they don't need that extra push, if you ask me. Anyway, hot take here. What if A-Pink is the group that goes viral this year?
I mean, they're gearing up. I saw this morning that they're preparing for a special album.
That's
I
true.
don't think it's a comeback, but it's a special album probably for their anniversary, but Nan's not participating in the activities for it, which sad. But that girl always gets some hate. I don't know why people hate her out of the group. Like,
you never know. It's like they just single a person out, to be honest.
Right. So it could be. I wouldn't mind. I actually wouldn't mind. I miss their song. Like, I miss hearing them and seeing them active in the community with also doing stuff.
What I find interesting about A-Pink is that they have been around for so long, for such a long time. And they always do very, very well in Korea, but I feel like they have not like gripped onto the international fan base. I mean, obviously there are international fans that like them, but not in the same way that like even aespa has like an international fan base. So I think it would be cool to see them do that, especially after what happened with Brave Girls, where they were about to disband and then just like whatever happened. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would be cool.
When was A-Pink's last release? Was it Was that the last one?
That's the last one I remember.
Yeah, that's the last one I remember because everybody was also talking about it, but that was years ago, like at least 3 years ago.
Yeah, that gives me 2019 vibes.
And I know a lot of people were like into when it released, but you know what? I would just be like, make it something super catchy. Not to say that they haven't done that, but it's just, it has to be really catchy for it to work again. So I'd like to see that happen. Maybe Tiara might come back also on Queendom also, just because, hey, why not?
What's the situation with CLC?
Oh, we don't know.
Because I've heard they've disbanded, but then people were getting mad on our social media because I said they disbanded. But I know like Soren left. Soren's not with
I
Cube.
thought that I could be wrong. I thought like they dissolved the group.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
That, or am I confusing them with G Idol's still together?
Yeah,
I don't think they're gonna stay together for that much longer.
Yeah, that whole situation with Sujin just ruined them, and not in the way that like Sujin did it, but in the way that they handled the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Cube has a history of this, so like I don't know why anybody's surprised.
Yeah, not surprised. Actually, that festival that I was supposed to go to, apparently Soren was there as well. So like I don't know what's exactly going on with CLC, because one of their members, is it CLC? Yes, because Sophia, shout out to Sophia, she was teaching me about them. She's part of Kepler.
Oh, who?
I have it. You did, hold on, Sophia, don't get mad at me, I'm still learning.
She's trying with you. At least it's working. While you're looking that up, the one thing about
Eugen,
that,
yes, I was right.
It's Eugen. Okay. Mm-hmm. The one thing about that is, even if the group of them came back together because of legal issues, they could not be the name CLC because that is copyrighted by Cube Entertainment. So if we do ever see something come back from them, it's definitely going to be a different group. And if Eugen is in Kepler, then like that makes me think it's much less likely that all of them would be involved again.
Which when I was talking with Sophia about Eugen being in Kepler, at least the CLC members were very supportive of her being on there. And you know what? I think it's one of those things that's just like, if I can't do it, I'm gonna like, and the way, if we were in a group and we ended this way, or it's just like this, heck yeah, I would be like, no, go do your thing, do what you got to do, because I'm not allowed, like, raise each other up, because it stinks, and take crumbs at this point, so earn your money, do what you got to do. I will be here supporting you while I also try to find something for myself too.
So it's so weird, because there was a period where like CLC was at the top. Mm-hmm. And like it sucks to see that girls could make it to the top, but they never stay there for some reason or another. Not in the way that like BTS, EXO, Big Bang, they just like maintain their status at the top no matter what, but the girls don't. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that has to do with a culture, seeing women age that doesn't like it, or anything like that. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Yeah. Who knows? But I just really hope that 2022 will do more good for the girl groups in K-pop, and whether we see new girl groups come out, which I mean is never ending, but also establishing a really good roster of like core, like these are your it girls right now, and establishing that these are going to be the girls who you're going to be watching for a very long time. We already know that aespa's already solidified their stance into the industry. So has ITZY, but we would like to see something bigger happen for sure. Any disbandments aside from CLC? Speculations. Ooh, this is controversial, sorry, but
that's a hard one, because it would be third gen groups that are disbanding at this point. So anyone that I think has not gotten a big hit would probably be gone, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I'm probably not gonna, I can't think of groups off the top of my head either, but I feel like we're just gonna see disbandments happen in 2022 that we're just like surprised, like disappointed but not surprised.
You think Icon will be one of those?
I don't know.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one because with Bobby becoming an actual dad, not like that hinders anything. It's just, it's going to be hard with their core rapper gone for a bit.
Yeah. And now that they don't have BI either as a rapper.
Yeah. Like, not to say that the others can't rap, but you know that like that's Bobby's position in this group. He's the rapper in this group, and it's hard. Like, honestly, like I would love to get them more promotion, but they hardly ever get promotion. Like,
I don't think they have in a number of years. I think 2020 was their last release.
Yeah, because they didn't really do anything after Kingdom.
It's possible YG could do that thing that they've done with Big Bang where they just keep them all there. They don't officially disband, but you just never see them together again. I don't think Big Bang's ever going to come back as a full group. I'm
don't
sorry.
Ruin it.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. We know that at least the Big Bang members, they're working on stuff. Well, Taeyong, like, and it also goes for that. Taeyong's a dad now, you know, so priorities are shifting. So it's like they're gonna take at least a couple, like maybe a year or two off just because they need to parent.
YG has dead ass been saying that G-Dragon's gonna release something for 2 years now. So that's why
he would have already done it by now.
I know. That's why I think it's bullshit.
Well, we know Top's working on music at least. Yeah,
but I mean, Top has also said he doesn't want to do any of this ever again, which is fair since the man almost died. I don't want to put him through that again. So, but what does Daesung even do?
Good question. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. And you know what's crazy is like I would at least think Daesung would be active because he's so popular in Japan. Like, outside of Korea, he is huge in Japan. And I wouldn't be like, I'm kind of surprised that he's not being pushed more out there.
Yeah, that's why I think YG's just gonna keep. I mean, maybe they make enough off of the royalties they've had for years that they don't have to.
Well, also GD has his line, the Peace Minus One line, that it's just like, well, we all knew that GD was into fashion, so would not be surprised later on he just establishes that as his main shtick even more in the future. So I want a Big Bang comeback. I just don't know if we're ever
I mean, I would like them to prove me wrong, but just based on what I've seen in the years of this godforsaken life, that I don't think it's gonna happen.
I mean, they were supposed to do Coachella and then the pandemic hit, and then but who knows? They could just really be taking their time off and return like Epic High. Wait it out just a little bit, still release here and there, but who knows? There's different priorities, I think, for each member in Big Bang. Same goes for iKON. I'm just sad that at least if you're not going to promote iKON, give them solo stuff to do.
I know, but it's like, it's well known that they were like the B team for YG. So like people were even arguing that they should have won the show that they did against Winner. So
and even then you don't even see Winner. I mean,
you see them sometimes, but I mean,
they're active, yes, like more active than iKON. Like, what was it on Weverse? They're promoting their new fan club, their next generation for their fan club. So I'm just like, what about iKON? So yeah, there's that. I do want to say prediction, more labels or artists are gonna come under Hybe. So I mean, hey, Hybe.
Yeah, but who?
I don't know who. I don't know who. It would be nice for them to pick up another girl group under Hybe, because now they did have
they have Source Music, but G-Friend disbanded very suddenly.
And that was heartbreaking, because they were the other girl group that I was just like, this girl group's gonna go far, and then lo and behold,
I know, and that was like the only group under Source. So what do they do now? Maybe they're preparing
so
another group. I don't know, but
probably.
G-Friend members are re-debuting. So one of
Which
them,
I'm glad.
there's a trio.
Mhm.
I forget. I know Umji's in it, and I don't remember who the others are. But then one of the other ones is debuting solo this month also. So they're doing things, but that really came out of nowhere. I just woke up one morning. They were like, G-Friend disbanded. I was like, what?
Huh? Yeah. Everybody's like, what? Since when? This is kind of disappointing. But I feel like Hybe's gonna pick up at least another big group under them. And we'll see. I would like it for it to be a girl group, but
Top media. Pick up tension, fix it. That's my my submission.
No, not wrong there. Not wrong there. Do you want to go into reading some of the staff 2022 predictions?
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm pretty like, I don't have major predictions anymore for like we used to. Because at this point, it's like I think we've come into the realm of in K-pop is like whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, it's really hard to predict what's gonna happen because it's always a shit show. There's always something ridiculous going on. So
okay, so for the first one, it is from our team member Rachel. She says that one of her predictions is that gonna be seeing a lot more collab and possible solo work from Taeil and Young of NCT, but she just feels like it's gonna be a big year for NCT in general, and a possible EP mixtape from Mark or Taeil. I wouldn't mind.
I do see Taeyoung being a possibility just because he's like released so much shit on SoundCloud and he's always like featuring or doing other work with other artists. So I would not be surprised if they decide to do like NCT solo stuff, that he would probably be the first one, him or Mark, most likely.
I'm just like, I mean, they do really well. So I wouldn't mind a Mark mixtape though. Shit. Release it, sir. We know it's there. Hello. Or at least Mark, to echo also Nicole, just seeing a lot more features featuring Mark. And seeing him like in other projects that are outside of NCT. I wouldn't mind that either. But that's just me. I'm a big fan of Mark and Taeyong, so yeah.
I know, but Mark does everything in NCT already, so shouldn't he like have a break?
True.
They put him back in Dream because people got so mad about it.
Yeah, and when Dream was supposed to be a graduation system, and they're like, no, I don't want it. And so now he's like back as a permanent member, though. I see like their units going to be changing up again, you know, who's gonna be in who. Not to
dredge it up, but I'm gonna dredge it up. What about Lucas? What are they gonna do? Are they just gonna make him go away? I don't know the full details on it, but I think it's probably bullshit.
I don't know. Bettina said something about Lucas, where she's unsure about the for 2022, just unsure what's gonna happen to Lucas and Lucas's position and Wavy, because Wavy just had their anniversary the other day. But she wants to stay hopeful that he would return. I don't know. It's just been so radio silent on everything. I don't know if we're ever gonna get that. He's supposed to collab with, was it Yang to release Jalapeno? I don't remember.
I remember he was one of the ones. I don't remember what, because they're doing the Wavy duos or whatever. I don't remember who it was with, but and Wavy was supposed to have a comeback too that they stopped talking about completely.
And that sucks because more Wavy content. At least it's just like, it's kind of one of those things, like even with Super Junior, you know, like when a member was going through something, they still kind of promoted it. They just never talked about it, you know? And it's just like, you can kind of do the same thing with Wavy. I get like,
I kind of wish they would do that. I'm not gonna lie. I wish they would just do that, because anybody's career could get destroyed by allegations. But I mean, we saw that with Kim Sunho. he got fucked up and it turned out that person lied.
And even then he's still seeing the after effects of it because people don't want to work with him.
Exactly. So I wish that people would just stop removing a person completely based on not provable facts, if that makes sense.
Like, you know, like we don't know the full story. Bottom line, we don't know the full story. We don't know what happens, you know, behind closed doors. I think in Lucas's case, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to say he's removed from the group right now. As of right now, he's still an NCT member. But it's just going to be unsure of whether he stays an NCT member at this point. And for those who are fans of him, you know, and support him, you know, stay hopeful because, you know, we don't know. I don't know the full story. We weren't there. And not to discredit those who have actually been hurt. Like if they're hurt, they're hurt. And definitely, you know, that was not okay. We don't condone what he did if he, you know, but at the same time, we just don't know.
Yeah. And the whole ruining someone's entire life over things that sometimes we can never know. But it's like, I feel like when you see a pattern of behavior, that's when you should be like, okay, this is an issue. And to be fair, I did not read up on the full Lucas situation, so there could be a pattern of behavior that I don't know about. But I mean, Jesus Christ, like an actor at the top of his game got fucking destroyed, and like that bothers me a lot.
Yeah. And so it's just like we said, like behavior, all of this type of behavior, do not condone any of that, but also we need to know what we can with the facts. I'm in no way are we discrediting anybody who's been hurt. No. If they truly did hurt a person, wow, that sucks. But we just don't know what the truth is. And I don't know if we're ever going to really know the truth because there's going to be things that are sealed. And so it's just at this point, like some people, you know, we don't know what's going to happen to Lucas. And at this point, as of right now, he's just sidelined into the group. Whether they bring him back is, you know, up to the company and up to the group of whether they want him back. And, you know, if he returns, he returns. Other predictions for 2022 that there's a lot of NCT predictions in this one where members are going to be doing more things. NCT Hollywood is supposed to be a thing, as Bettina mentioned. We don't know when, but it's supposed to happen soon.
I don't want it.
Ish.
I don't want it. I don't.
How are we feeling about Got or Girls on Top?
Yeah, so that was an interesting addition to the very end of the year. We have a Super M-like unit situation with SM's girl group. Although I think they said that they're rotating out members. Mm-hmm. So the one that they have now is not the solidified group.
No. They're it's kind of in the same similar concept of what NCT is. And a lot of who mentioned it. Yeah, Alina mentioned Got about having a rotating lineup, and so did Bettina. I agree. I feel like whatever this universe that Got is gonna be, because right now Got the Beats, which is featuring Boa, the aespa members, Winter and Karina. Winter, Karina, we have Girls' Generations, Hyoyeon and Taeyeon, and then Red Velvet, Sluggy and Wendy, which all powerhouse members of their group plus Boa, obviously. I mean, Step Back is doing really good, in my opinion. I liked it, obviously, because I wrote it, but I would like to see if this is going to be a rotating concept, and this is only the first unit that we're getting from Got. I kind of wonder what else are we going to get in terms of concept and style, because this is going to be something that's going to be changed, and it's not the first and last unit that we're getting. So, I mean,
didn't we predict they were going to do this in like 2020?
Did we?
I think
Did
so.
we?
I mean, because
So-
it was
whoa.
going to make sense at that point, but then, you know, the pandemic fucked
It
everything
makes
up.
sense.
So that could have been in the works years ago, but they just like waited until now to do it. I find it interesting that they're basically taking their entire like roster of female artists and figuring out how to put them together. So what I find interesting about that is like, how do you know if they're going to have chemistry and perform well together? Because it's not like they
Right.
train together.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't
And
know like the
also-
ins and outs of the idol industry, you know, like if they
Mhm.
were,
And the
it's-
hierarchy of it all,
yeah.
of, you know, how they debuted. Boa is obviously the most experienced out of this group, and she is the penultimate sunbae for all of them. You know, they all looked up to her because she was literally one of the first female K-pop artists who really dug into K-pop and put K-pop out there, you know? Like, a lot of people can attribute her to the big push, at least overseas. Look at how big she is in Japan. You know, if she didn't, you know, branch out into Japan, we would have never gotten, you know, a lot of these cross promotions, and seeing what it is to actually branch out outside of Korea without her influence. Not to say she's the only one, but she played a big part of it. And to be like, imagine being the ISPA members and you're like, this is the person who started it all for not only the company, but, you know, is the blueprint for what it is to be a female artist in K-pop. I'd be so intimidated to work with her. I think she'd be so scary to work with, and I'm like, big shoes to follow. I don't know about this, you know. But yeah, like, how do you determine because at least, you know, Hyoyeon and Taeyeon, they've also had a lot of experience, and so they are still pretty far out compared to Boa, but they are considered, you know, they're not first gen, right? They're second gen technically.
Yeah, I think technically they're second gen, but they would be early
second gen. And considering that they've been through all of these years of K-pop and seeing the highs and lows of it, again, that's just experience under the belt. And so it's probably really intimidating being on the younger end. And even then, the gap between Red Velvet and aespa when they debuted is huge too. So we'll see. I would like to see something similar to like SM the Ballad, but in female form, come out of Got, just because you know that there are some insane vocalists amongst the females. So maybe
see how experimental they get with, you know, sound range.
Yeah, I think that would be, I kind of wish that we just didn't get a single. It's just like, if you're gonna push it and do like similar to the Super M thing, give us more, because at least you gave Super M an album, a mini at least. Can we have like a mini also? Please. I would like that, because Step Back was really good. And then what's it called? Who was it that also mentioned? Rachel also mentioned hopefully a Got7 reunion in 2022. I would like it to happen. They're all busy doing their solo stuff, but
Is Mark
just find it
over
silly.
here like
Yes.
for good?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, is he
For
planning
good?
to stay in the US?
Yeah, I think
Does-
so. I think he's planning on pushing, like, doing the Eric Nam thing of really focusing in on his career here and his promotions here, because his next single's coming up.
Yeah, all the
Very
members
soon.
have been very active.
Which I'm proud.
JB has an EP coming out again. I feel like
Bam Bam is about to release
Bam
his.
Bam. Young
Jin Young's
Jae just
acting.
had something. Jin Young's acting.
Jackson's so busy in China that it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
I think
I'm just
Yu
proud
is
of
the
them.
one, is like the only person we don't hear from regularly.
But I feel like he's working on an album too.
Yeah, because he did have a release. So I mean, they've all been doing stuff. It's just like if they were to have a full official comeback, either Mark would have to record from here or make a trip over there.
Which, I mean, I think that would be possible. I don't think we're gonna get a tour, unfortunately. Not for a while. But I think we're at least one promotion cycle, please. Just one promotion or one album, or even if it's just a mini, just please, I wouldn't mind. It was just so cute because for their 8th anniversary, they all got on Instagram Live together. And even though I was reading, apparently Jackson had a schedule, but he still, for that time period, he was still there with them. And I'm just like, stop, I love them.
I do wonder if they were to have a tour, JYP probably owns all of their old music still.
But I feel like JB has been making moves to make sure he's getting all of their stuff.
Boss shit. If he did that, I'd be like, damn. Like,
I think he has. I think that's why it took him so long to release his solo, because he's just been working behind the scenes to get all of Got7 stuff.
If he did that so that he like has the official copyright on it, I would have so much fucking respect for that man. I mean, I do already, but I think that would be like, bro, that is above and beyond. Like, having to fight a legal battle with JYP, I think I would rather kill myself. So
I mean, Highlight did it. They managed to get a good portion of their songs back. When
I guess it also depends how much they contributed to the song, right? So
right.
If the members wrote most of the song, they probably can hold up in court in getting it back. But for like the old title tracks, I feel like that would be more difficult.
Years, like I don't know how hard that's gonna be to get stuff back, but definitely, Not By the Moon, that's all JB. That's all JB for sure.
Yeah, I think they could get probably most of their B-sides. And
the more recent stuff, I feel like it's just going to be easier to obtain, but I feel like that's what JB's just been doing and why he's been so silent up until he released Somo Fume, so it's just like, please, one comeback, one reunion comeback this year, please. I would love for that to happen.
It is nice though for their fans that they all like have been active individually. I feel like we don't see that very often from groups that disband, so you don't really have a chance to miss them because they're still there. Just not all at once.
And they all support each other's solo stuff. Like, who was it? Was it Bam Bam? Yeah. It's either Bam Bam or Young Jae, both of them. Maybe they managed to get all of the members to do their dance and post it on social media. So it's just like, they all talk to each other. We know that at least the relationship that Got7 has with each other, that that this group is still going to be through thick and thin together for a long time to come. So, and which is rare to see, because people forget, like sometimes, like, remember, they're coworkers, they don't like each other all the time. So we'll see how that works out. But we don't have any big girl group stuff. I see a big push for TXT and in Hyphen out here in the States. I feel like they're gonna be a big push, especially if and when BTS all enlist together. Yeah, those two groups, even though in Hyphen's technically not under Big Hit, they're under Hybe and their company there. So it's just like, these kids, I'm telling you, they're gonna be huge, as if they're already not. But
yeah, I'm gonna say
yeah, like as if they're not already, but they're gonna be even bigger. And I felt like 2020 and 2021 was a big year for TXT. 2021 big year for ENHYPEN. Again, not a big fan, but I hear their stuff playing all the time. So
I still haven't listened to them, to be honest. I'm having a hard time transitioning to the young kids.
It's hard. It's really hard. Like, how do you get into it? Oh, I forgot to mention, my man's Jungkook is gonna be releasing an album of some sort. And I'm ready. I'm just saying, I'm ready. Bring it on. Sorry, that's my 2022 prediction. Jay's going to D-word upon the release. That's the 2022 prediction there. But
I don't think that's a prediction. I think that's just a fact.
Yeah. And then Roxy's gonna be forever tortured by Yoonho from 80s.
Mhm.
So that's what's gonna be happening. But that's obviously ending this podcast on a lighter note. If you have any predictions for 2022, please let us know in the comments or share wherever. We'd also love to hear from you on social media. So what are yours? We'd love to know, because clearly I think me and Roxy are a little bit detached because of life beating our asses. But,
unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, don't have a good grip right now. But later we will get there. Manifesting it. Like, we will definitely come back and see maybe how did we do and have another thing of what came true, what did we really predict, or what didn't we see coming in 2022. So yeah, let us know. We're always excited to see what's going to happen.
So leave a comment below if you want to engage in conversation about it, or you can find us on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook at Krazemag. We'd definitely love to hear you guys' thoughts, just for maybe more specific things that we can track. And then if you are listening to our podcast, you could do us a favor and go ahead and leave a rating and review on Spotify. It would really help us out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch our next episode. So this has been the Krazecast, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.